Well, hello again and welcome to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my gorgeous, wonderful, intelligent, hardworking, but really needs a nap wife and co-host, Michelle.
Thank you, sweetie. Hi, everyone.
Why does she need a nap? We'll talk about that in just a moment here, but it's so good to have you with us. We are recording this episode on Sunday, January 9th, 2022, a little later in the day than we would normally record. Why is that? Well, it's because of the reason why Michelle may need a nap here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just been a really busy time for me. A lot of things going on at work and, needing to sleep more, I think.
Yes, that is usually the reason for needing a nap, is you need to sleep some more. And again, we'll get to the reason why here in just a moment. But thank you for joining us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventuresPodcast.com. And while you're there,
you're going to get a prompt if you haven't already joined the newsletter, and we'd love to invite you to join and get a newsletter every week.
Yes, they restarted this week after our long period away while we were on vacation, but I got the newsletter back out there packed with all sorts of information this last week, a couple of videos that we put out there. It's just another way to be involved in the Hyperion Adventures podcast world.
Exactly. And we do not share your email address with anyone.
Nope. It's just for the newsletter once a week, and that's it. If you also want to be involved with us, there are different ways, like on social media. We're on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, come on over and join us with a fun, positive Disney energy we're having on our Hyperion Adventures Facebook group.
Yeah, it's a wonderful group and it continues to grow. And we hope if you're already a member, welcome, and please invite others to join along.
Yeah, just have some good old family Disney vacation or Disney whatever fun. Boy, maybe I need the nap too.
I was going to say, I don't think I'm the only one.
Right. Also, we're on YouTube. If you want to find us there, just do a quick search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Hit subscribe and you'll know whenever we have a new video. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
And as we typically say, we really just love to hear from you. Or if you ever have a question about one of our episodes or would like us to cover something in an episode, we'd love to hear from you.
Definitely. For whatever reason, even if you just want to say hi, we would just love to hear from you. And if you ever feel like you'd like to help support this show, maybe you get a little bit out of it from week to week, we would love some help here. And you can get some great stuff out of it. First, you could go to our Spreadshirt shop. Just do a search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast there, or go to one of our Linktree accounts and find it there. And we have all sorts of items, shirts, sweatshirts, all sorts of stuff with our logos on them there.
Right, yeah. Coffee cups,
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
Just about anything you can think of.
Right.
We've slapped a logo on it. It's there for you to try and give us, we get a portion of that. And it also supports the show by showing, that, hey, when you're walking around with your coffee mug or your t-shirt or whatever, hey, look at that. Maybe somebody might ask, and what's this podcast about?
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And also we have a Patreon page. You can join there with tier starting as low as $2 per month. And we give out lots of swag for that. And we've got some more interesting things coming up in the future.
Right. And thanks to those of you who are already Patreons. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And if you want to find us there, it's just patreon.com/Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Really, really easy. Now, if you got the newsletter and if you've been on social media with us this week, you know that our final ballot is out there for our Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame. Our third annual show will be next week.
Wow.
So we need to get those votes in. So all the categories that are out there, lots of you have already participated. Thank you very much. But still, there's still time. We're going to keep it open until midnight Eastern time, or 11:59 a.m. Eastern time, or excuse me, p.m. Wow. 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. We need to get that in so I can get the show all prepped and ready to go for Sunday. But if you take part in that, one person who votes and decides they want to be involved, you can be completely anonymous. You can vote and not want the prize, to say, I don't need the prize, but we do have a little prize package that we're giving away that includes a Disney Vacation Club hat, and this cool Mickey Mouse fanny pack.
Yeah, it's a really nice fanny pack, and the hat too as well. Yes, and if you are a Patreon or become a Patreon, you actually get an extra automatic ballot into the drawing.
That's right. So check that out. And then again, tiers starting as low as $2. Also, we have some Hyperion stickers, some buttons, some all sorts of stuff. All that stuff will be coming to one lucky person who votes on that ballot. So thanks again for everybody who's already taken part.
Right, exactly.
So now we get to the thing that we like to do every single week to spread a little more positivity, to look back at the week and say, it was pretty good. I had some things that I really liked from this week. So now we're going to get to what is called my favorite thing from this week. And Michelle is suddenly looking like she's a little perplexed, like she forgot, which it's been a while since that's happened.
I
know. She's trying to figure out what her favorite thing is from this week. Now, Michelle, do you have an answer or would you like me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So my favorite thing from this week is the reason why Michelle needs a nap. And maybe I do as well. And that's because we just literally moments ago, within the last half an hour, we walked in the door from a trip to Anaheim to visit the Disneyland Resort. And we had a great time with some of our family who we've been planning this trip for, it's about 21, 22 months now. This was this trip that was supposed to happen right after our Panama Canal cruise when the COVID went crazy and everything shut down in 2020. And so we had to postpone this trip. Finally, we got to do this trip. We did Disneyland yesterday. We stayed the night at Paradise Pier Hotel with a great theme park view, and then went to Disney California Adventure Park for about a half day today. And I think my really favorite thing from this was getting to bring my family into Batu, into Galaxy's Edge for the first time. They hadn't been before, so it was exciting to bring them in there and how amazed they were with the whole land and going on the attractions, and especially just watching their faces as they were going on Rise of the Resistance and experiencing that for the first time.
Exactly, right. And, just being able to feel again a little bit like some normalcy is maybe happening. And we had all kinds of conditions of this trip and whether or not we would do it. And so we took every precaution possible, but very happy that it finally took place.
Yeah, we were deciding up to the last moment, like literally the day before we finally pinned down, okay, we're going to get a hotel reservation because of the fact that we weren't sure we were actually going to go through with it all. But we went ahead, we double masked most of the trip when we were there and just did our best to try and keep as safe as possible. And we had a very good time.
Yeah, totally fun.
So that was my favorite thing from this week. What's yours?
Well, I know. And I think, once I knew I was going to probably go the same direction as you, it was like, do I say, the same thing or just, being together with family and after, a really grueling week again with, so many people being tested and being in a very busy environment.
Michelle's had a crazy, they're lined up around the block for people to get tested right now. Yeah. And it's been insane at her work. So.
Right. And just trying to.
She deserves the longest of naps right now.
Just feeling like, I'm trying to cheer people on to continue to do this grueling work. And so it was, one of those, is it better just to stay in bed all weekend or, trying to get away and reconnect with people? And I think I'm really, really happy to have done that. And even though I'm, kind of tired right now too, but I think it did really rejuvenate my spirits.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. We had a great time. We're just going to go over a few things. We're not going to do a full recap episode of this trip, but just a couple things that we did that were a lot of fun. We had that wonderful Paradise Pier Park View room, which I posted a picture out on social media today. Maybe you saw it, of sun rising over Disney California Adventure Park, which was beautiful. We were there last night. We actually decided that we let our family go ahead and go back to the parks. We decided the room was so great and we were already tired. Michelle, poor thing, has been working so hard that we just picked up a pizza and we had a bottle of wine with us, and we just enjoyed the room last night after being in the park for most of the day.
Yeah, I think we called it a day, like around 5:30?
Yeah, maybe a little earlier than that. We got to our room. We were debating it.
Oh, that's right. It was like Yeah.
It was like around
4.
4:30.
Yeah. And we were like, okay, we're done.
We sat for a while and we're like, this room's pretty good. We had this bottle of wine here. Do we really want to go back into the parks tonight? And we decided no,
Right.
But they went back and they had a great time. By the way, they did for both days the Genie Plus, and I think they would say they enjoyed the Genie Plus very much. I mean, and obviously not everybody wants to pay that money for it. They're a family of 4. That was a lot of money to pay for Genie Plus, but
Right.
I think they told us they got a lot out of it.
Right. Especially if, like in their example, they haven't been to Disney World in several years. And if you want to get into more attractions and see more things, see newer things, then yeah, it definitely made sense.
So they took advantage of that. They went on a lot of attractions last night. When we left, they're probably right now as we're recording, they're still going on attractions right now at Disney California Adventure Park. We had brunch at Lamplight Lounge this morning, always spectacular. That was great. Stopped by Oga's, showed them Oga's the other day.
Right.
That was fun as well. So it was it was an excellent short trip. We did a lot in a short amount of time, but we had a lot of fun.
Right. I think today we're only there, 3 hours?
Yeah, we got in there around 8:30-ish, a little after 8:30, and then we had brunch at 11 and left around 12:30. So about 4 hours. Yeah, about 4 hours today.
Yeah. 3 hours. Don't count
for us. The benefit of having a
brunch.
Magic Key is that you can, you don't feel like if you went in there for 4 hours, it's not, crimping you so badly.
Right.
When you buy a single day ticket, a lot of times you want to go, rope drop to fireworks and beyond. But,
and we just activated our Magic Keys.
Yeah. So good to go. So anyway, that was a lot of fun over the weekend, and we had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's get to today's show. Lots of stuff for you for this week, including we have another virtual queue at Disney Parks goes by the wayside beginning this week. We'll tell you what that is. And another Disney Pixar animated film will be making its exclusive debut on Disney Plus. We'll tell you all about that as well. Oh, and also congratulations to all the participants that took part in the Run Disney Marathon weekend. It looked like all your pictures were great. Looks like you were having a great time. And congratulations on finishing whatever race you were in, whether you did just the 5K or 10K, or whether you did the whole Dopey Challenge and did all 4 races. Either way, it's a great accomplishment. Right. Congratulations for doing that. We cannot wait to get out to our Run Disney race in early April.
So exciting.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get to our main topic of the week. So yeah, we hemmed and hawed about what this week's topic was going to be for a little while, but and even though we're, a couple weeks into 2022 now, we still are looking at a lot of the year to look forward to. So we thought, hey, let's talk about, we're always positive here, the Disney things we're looking forward to in 2022.
Yeah, it was an excellent topic. I was really glad that you came up with this one.
Yeah, so this will be a lot of fun. We're just going to kind of go through. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that we know of already. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know that's going to happen in 2022 that we could be excited about, but there's stuff that we do know is coming, and we thought we'd count down our 5 favorite things we're looking forward to Disney-wise in 2022.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and whenever we do these lists, we always start with Michelle. One, because she's wonderful, awesome, all things great in the world. She does the best research. She has the best tips. But she always has the most interesting lists. Let's face it, you're going to pretty much know my list ahead of time. But Michelle, she goes left, and then she fakes and goes right. You just don't really know where she's going to end up. Maybe she'll do a spin. You just don't know.
Right.
Maybe she'll duplicate herself and go into 2 completely different directions at the same time. You have no idea, but you always want to listen. So let's go ahead and get to it. Michelle, what is your number 5 thing Disney-wise you're most looking forward to in 2022?
Okay, so first let me explain. Well, one, I think we're going to have some duplicates.
I'm sure.
I really do. The other thing is, when trying to narrow this down, I did decide to narrow it down to the United States things.
Okay.
There are some really
I think mine
wonderful
are too, yeah.
things that are going on at some of the other Disney parks around the world. But I thought for this episode, I would just stick with the ones here in the United States because I thought, well, we could always do another international.
That's a good point. Yeah,
episode.
I mean, Disneyland Paris is celebrating 30 years
Right.
this year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. I stuck to the United States as well. But,
All right.
so.
Okay, so my number 5 thing is the Tale of the Lion King coming to Disneyland Resort at the Fantasyland Theater. And we always love it when they have, live action or people acting out Lion King. It's always it's a great story, and watching performers do it is always fun. But I think what really made me excited about this is to see Fantasyland Theater coming back to life with having some performers there, that kind of entertainment coming back to the parks. We've seen some entertainment here. There are some bands or performers, but nothing, like a stage show like this. And so it's really exciting, I think, to be able to have that returning.
I agree. And we love the Festival of the Lion King out at Animal Kingdom Park. And I think that this is going to be something somewhat similar. And so it would be great to see something like that within a Disney park again. And I mean, we're looking for something to fill that theater. There hasn't been anything there since they had Mickey's Magical Map there.
Right.
So a good show there. It's a people eater, which is always good for, when we were there just this weekend and we saw the crowds, someplace for some people to go to, one, take a load off, to get some good entertainment as well, but also to, filter some people out of the queues a little bit more. So that's nice. So it's a good choice. Well, I didn't make my list, but I like that choice.
All right. Well, thank you. What about your number 5?
My number 5 is Magic Band Plus at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, making its debut here in 2022. I love the enhanced look of it. I love that it's going to do a few more things, but mostly, more importantly, I love the fact that we're finally over here on the West Coast going to have a magic band that works over here. If you've only gone to Walt Disney World, magic bands, you're used to magic bands. We have not had them at Disneyland, and we were like, why? We want them. Why can't we have them at Disneyland? Finally, we are going to have them at Disneyland very soon.
Right. And I know for years we've been kind of teased with having the posts that are the readers for the magic bands. And it's like, okay, it's going to happen sometime soon. They're going to finally announce it. And it never did. And you're right. It's exciting that that's going to be coming here.
Agreed.
As well as, like you said, the additional features of the Magic Band Plus.
Right. For sure. So excited about that. It's going to cost a little more than what normal Magic Band is going to be, but it's going to do a few more things. And either way, I'm just excited about it. So that is my number 5. But let's get back to the real list here. Let's get back to Michelle's number 4 Disney thing she's looking forward to in 2022.
Okay, so my number 4 is that they are returning to having tours offered at the parks, which I think is great. And for me, I think I'm really, even though our all-time favorite, I think, has been Keys to the Kingdom tour, but I really am excited to sign up for the Wild Africa Trek at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I know that there's, these, it's always fun to do the behind the scene tour, feeling like, wow, you're getting all the inside tips, VIP treatment. But this one is really exciting because it actually has some physical fitness aspects to it, where you're kind of hiking through different types of terrain, including a rope bridge. The fact that it takes place rain or shine. You get PhotoPass included, and they have a photographer who's really trying to capture the essence of what's going on in that tour. So, it's really sounds cool. And then you get topped up with some really great specialty gourmet eats that are inspired by Africa. And it just seems like it's exciting, and it's time to do that tour. Yeah,
it was one of the things that we went back, was it probably more than a year and a half ago when we did an episode just based on tours.
Right.
And looking back at all the various tours that have to offer and what's great about them. And that was one that came up for us that we're like, when we were reading about it, we're like, that's one we have to do eventually.
Right,
so
exactly.
glad to hear that's coming back. And tours in general are coming back. That's good. It's one more step, baby steps.
Yes.
Baby steps. COVID's still very much out there, but hopefully we get through this thing soon and we can start progressing the way we have started to progress.
So. Exactly.
So very nice.
Thank you. So we're at your number 4.
My number 4 is I'm going to Disney Plus for my number 4, and that is basically all the Marvel and Star Wars series that are coming to Disney Plus in 2022, because there are some great things that I'm very excited about coming in 2022. I'm going to start right now in Star Wars, where we already have the Book of Boba Fett out there, which we've enjoyed the first 2 episodes so far. Can't wait to see where that goes as that series progresses. Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of my favorites of all time, and so I can't wait to see Ewan McGregor revising that role here sometime in the next few months. Cassian Andor, I know Michelle is very excited about that series. We're fans of Rogue One, Star Wars story, and Cassian, so can't wait to see that when Andor comes out. Mandalorian season 3, of course, we're excited about. Bad Batch season 2, the animated series. Looking forward to that. Lots of great Star Wars content coming to Disney Plus. Marvel really hit it out of the park in 2021 with their series, but there's some good ones coming in 2022 as well, including Miss Marvel, which I'm excited about as well. She-Hulk, which has been a favorite comic book character for a long time. Looking to see that put onto live action here and see how that turns out as well. Moon Knight is going to be great. I have a feeling. I think people are going to fall in love with Moon Knight once they actually see that series. And I Am Groot, the shorts with focusing on Baby Groot will be a lot of fun too. But all that stuff, all coming to Disney Plus. Very excited about it, along with all the other stuff with Disney Plus, but especially Star Wars and Marvel for me.
Yeah, that's a great one. Very good. I like it.
So that is my number 4. Back to the real list here. Let's get to Michelle's number 3 Disney thing that she's looking forward to in 2022.
Okay, here's where I'm starting to think we might have some similarities, some matches. So my number 3 is actually something that you kind of touched on earlier, is the Run Disney's returning, and particularly our participation in a Run Disney and the 10K in April, and so very, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We're doing the Race for the Taste 10K at the Springtime Surprise race, and we're running with some friends, which will be nice too as well.
That's exciting.
But yeah, we're very excited for that race. That's going to be a lot of fun, and just seeing the Run Disney. There was the Wine and Dine in 2021, which was the first race back, and now we saw the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend this week, and seeing all the people come back for that and having a good time. And we still have the Princess coming up in February, and then our race. It's exciting to see it all, and it's been a long time since not just since there's been a Run Disney race, but it's even longer since we've had the chance to run in one. So very, very excited to do that here in April.
Yeah. So that's why that made my number 3.
Great choice.
Thank you. So your number 3.
My number 3, I can't tell if this one will be on your list or not, because I'm not sure what you feel about this thing. But my number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is getting set to make its debut at Epcot in 2022. And I'm excited about it. I don't know how I'm personally I have some motion sickness issues, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what it's like. They say it's a family-friendly coaster. Gives me hope that I can make it. Not sure about Michelle. She's not a huge coaster person. She doesn't mind going on some of the ones that she likes, but not all of them, does she buy into all the time. So we'll see about that. But the whole thing, we love the Guardians movie. The coaster looks fantastic. It's doing things that no coaster has ever done, with like the turning car that can look at scenes as it goes through it. And, even just the beginning, the pre-show, where you're going to be going into this kind of planetarium that's, off-world, and learning from the people of Xandar about, about their universe, their lands and everything. That sounds kind of cool to me as well. So excited for the whole thing, the pre-show and the coaster, and to check. We may just go, if we decide the coaster isn't for us, we may just go in and check the pre-show out from time to time and then hit the exit.
Yeah, no, that one is definitely a good choice. I would probably be putting it more in the honorable mention. I do think I got to at least try it. It just looks so intriguing and fun. And I'm hoping their description of it being a family-friendly coaster is accurate so that I can participate in it more and more. But yeah, that was a good one.
Got to give it at least a shot once and see if it's for you or not. But either way, looking forward to that very much.
All right.
So, again, back to the real list here. Michelle, what is your number 2 Disney thing you're looking forward to in 2022?
So my number 2 is the return of World of Color at Disney California Adventure Park in the spring. And I'm also hoping that they're going to have the return of their yummy dessert party with VIP seating for that.
So Michelle doesn't have to try and weasel her way in front of everybody so she can actually see these.
Right?
If you don't know Michelle, she's vertically challenged. So the first time we saw World Color without a dessert party or whatever, she saw the top part of World of Color.
I saw water.
Not most of World of Color.
Yeah. So I'm just excited about that. It's always been a great show and a lot of fun. And it's super that they're bringing that back.
Yeah. One of my favorite nighttime spectaculars for sure. I'm very excited for that to come back too. And they haven't announced officially the date yet. But I know there's when we were just at Disneyland, we could see them out there. They've refilled the lake there. The water's back in. They're still doing a little bit of work on it, but hopefully very, very soon that will be back in action.
Right. Yeah. They said spring, but I know that covers a lot of months.
That covers a lot of ground. Yeah. So hopefully somewhere March, April, but it could be as far as like June, you know, so we'll see.
That's true.
So anyway, that's exciting. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So now I think we're up to your number 2.
My number 2, I'm be surprised if this isn't on your list, but who knows? Our list, I thought we would already have coupled up a couple times on these and we have not so far. So let's see. But my number 2 is the debut of the Disney Wish, and in particular, our sailing on board the Disney Wish that we have scheduled for September. You know, I mean, the brand new ship looks spectacular. Can't wait to try all the wonderful new dining options and lounges, and you know, the Aqua Mouse, the first water coaster that Disney is ever going to have, you know, and it looks like a fabulous ship. I can't wait to experience all the new technology and interesting things, innovations that are going to be brought aboard that wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous ship.
Right. And the fact that they're going to have different theming in their rotational dining, which is great. I mean, we've loved the ones that they've had on the original 4 ships, but it's great that they're developing some new theming and have more modern characters associated, like with Marvel, etc. So yeah.
And hello, Frozen.
I know.
I love Frozen.
So I can't believe that I missed that one.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that one just slipped through because it is a great one that I am totally looking forward to.
Right. Yeah. It's still a little ways away, especially our cruise isn't until September, but that's very exciting just the same. So. Right. That is my number 2, but now let's cap it all off here with Michelle's number 1, which we know will be the most interesting number 1. Michelle, what is the number 1 Disney thing you're looking forward to in 2022?
All right. So, and I thought this one was going to be on your list, but it is the return of the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is just such a classic. It brings back so many great memories, childhood memories, etc. That, and when they did the tease, a couple months ago, it just really made us excited. And parade coming back is great too, but this one in particular, I think, just has some real great nostalgia to it. And I'm shocked that it's 50 years old.
Hard to believe.
I know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought that.
It's a favorite of ours. We love that. We've had great memories of watching the Main Street Electrical Parade and looking forward to it. Again, another thing, hopefully they have some sort of lunch package or something to go check it out.
Yeah.
But, very exciting stuff. So that's a good choice. Michelle's choice will be the best choice for sure. Her list is the best list. Her number 1 is definitely the number 1.
I think you win this time. So, but
I
what's
don't
your
know.
number 1?
I don't know. My number 1 is Star Wars Celebration and D23 Expo 2022 in Anaheim, taking place again this year, hopefully. Hopefully it still takes place because, it's been a difficult couple of years, let's be honest, but this is they're both such great positive events that it's going to be so wonderful to get people together again to experience some great Disney and Star Wars positive energy, which I think we could all use out there. So Star Wars Celebration in May out at Anaheim, D23 Expo 2022 in September. Very exciting stuff. By the way, I believe D23 Expo 2022 tickets go on sale this week, or excuse me, the week after this on the 20th. So get prepared, start getting ready. If you're thinking about going, and if you're a Disney fan, I highly suggest you think about going. It's coming up on the 20th. The tickets are going on sale.
Wow, very exciting. But that's a great one.
Yeah.
Or a great combo, I guess.
We have never been to Star Wars Celebration, although we have friends that have, and they rave about how wonderful it is, and we've been looking forward to it. We had plans originally to go to...
We had tickets
originally. Yes. So before it got canceled and rescheduled, we've been to the D23 Expo twice, loved it both times, and can't wait to go experience it again.
Right.
So
Good list, honey.
Do you have any honorable mentions that you didn't? I mean, you listed a couple things that weren't quite on the list.
I think the Guardians of the Galaxy one was, my honorable mention. And like I said, I just can't believe I didn't think about the Wish. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, you were very park focused, I think, on your list, and that's good.
I was just looking at, I think I was looking at it. Well, other than the Run Disney that we're going to be in, things that are for anybody to participate.
That's true.
In.
That's true. I just have a couple. I mean, first off is the all the Disney movies that are coming in 2022. Sure. I mean, I'm not going to name them all, but there's some that I'm really excited about, including Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness in May, Lightyear coming in June, Thor: Love and Thunder in July, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever coming up in November. Hopefully all these are coming this year. We've seen some things bumped, and these could be bumped again, but hopefully all these happen. There's many other movies and many other things that are happening that we're excited about. So, and then I mean, even though the only reason this didn't make my list is because we're probably not going to get to do it this year, and who knows if we'll ever get to do it, but I can't wait to hear what people think about the Galactic Star Cruiser. I know people have made some judgments by what they've seen online so far, but I'm looking forward to seeing when people experience it, what they feel about it, and how that comes across, because it looks fascinating still to me, no matter what some people have said. It just still looks cool to me. We just can't fit it in with this year's schedule because of all the things we've talked about that we've had planned.
Right. And one thing that we've seen time and again is that Disney does, they do survey people a lot, but they also do listen through social media and, the feedback from their guests, and they do make adjustments to things that they feel is going to really make people enjoy something better. So, what it is right now may not be what it is, a year from now, but I agree with you. It's still an exciting offering that they're going to have, and I'm looking forward to hearing people's experiences with that.
Right, for sure. So that's it. I mean, I'm sure there's many other things that we have skimmed over here that could be on our list or honorable mention. And we'd love to hear from you. What are your things that you're looking forward to in 2022 Disney-wise? It could be as simple as, what I'm most looking forward to in Disney 2022 is I'm going to make my trip to Walt Disney World for the first time in a long time. I'm sure that's some of you that still haven't been back to a park yet.
Sure.
And we'd love to hear about that as well. But please hit us up on social media, hit us up on Gmail. We would love to hear from you, and we will share it on an upcoming show.
Right. Yeah. Because we love to have you involved in our Hyperion family.
Always. You're always part of the Hyperion family, but we really especially love it when you put input into our shows. So that is our look at our favorite Disney things we're looking forward to in 2022. So it's fun to look ahead. Lots of great stuff coming. Excited for what Disney has to offer in 2022.
Most definitely. Like you said, I think what's really exciting is that there are a lot of different things, a lot of variations in people's interests, whether it be parks, films, shows on Disney Plus, etc. There's a lot of variety happening in 2022.
For sure. Good stuff. So let's get to our Disney stories of the week. Just have a couple for you this week. And I'm going to start with another virtual queue at a Disney park goes by the wayside beginning this week. What could that be? Well, the Disney Parks blog told us. They said the newest attraction at Epcot, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, had its delicious debut in time for the world's most magical celebration honoring the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World Resort when it opened on October 1st of 2021. Well, now, as of tomorrow, probably when you're hearing this on Monday, January 10th, a guest may experience this incredible attraction by using a standby queue instead of a virtual queue. So with this change, that will end the virtual queue for now, for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So you still can use the individual Lightning Lane purchase for that attraction if you do want to try and get cuts in the line per se, but now it's going to be like what they've done with Rise of the Resistance and so many of the other attractions. And even over here at Disneyland, they've done it to every attraction that used to be on a virtual queue at Disneyland. You will be going standby or purchasing that Lightning Lane individual entry if you'd like to do this new attraction.
Right. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, I guess. I mean, some people found it, I know virtual queues can be very, they can be a little scary. You're like, oh, you get that moment where you're trying to get in there and like, am I going to get it? Yay, or oh, know. And so there's a little bit of drama to that. But the fact that now you can just, if you want to go on it, if you don't mind waiting a little longer, you can get on it. We went on Web Slingers this morning, and it was posted as an hour wait, and we waited 40 minutes or something like that. It really wasn't that bad. So, it can be done for you out there. You can go on that attraction. You don't have to be fretting about whether you get the virtual queue or not.
Right. I think that's the thing that I think is exciting, because I think that was one of the senses. If you didn't get your virtual queue, then you felt like you had no opportunity.
Or you were going to have to pay for it through Lightning Lane.
Well, now you could do that too,
But I mean, I'm just saying that it was either that. It was either you got the virtual queue or you're paying for it. So now you can still go without paying anything extra. You just may have to wait a little longer.
True. Yeah. I think I was thinking about before Lightning Lane existed. It was you get in the virtual queue or you're just not going to have an opportunity for that attraction. But you're right. Now you could also decide to pay that additional fee.
Exactly. So moving on, one more story for you, and that is another Disney Pixar animated film will be making its exclusive debut on Disney Plus. This from a Walt Disney Company press release, which they sent just to us. I didn't have to go find it. They sent it to us. I didn't have to go find it. That is maybe a little bit of a fib, but anyway, they say on Friday, Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution announced that Disney and Pixar's Turning Red will premiere exclusively in homes worldwide on Disney Plus on Friday, March 11th. So that's the new Pixar movie that's coming out. That will I don't know if I'm sure they will release it in theaters too. Although they do say exclusively, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they won't be. I'm surprised they were not going to put it in theaters as well. But at least if you own Disney Plus, it's not Premier Access. If you have Disney Plus, you'll be able to watch this film on March 11th. So here was a quote. It said, Disney Plus subscribers around the world enthusiastically embraced Pixar's Academy Award-winning Soul and the critically acclaimed Luca when they premiered exclusively on the service, and we look forward to bringing them Pixar's next incredible feature film, Turning Red, end quote, said Kareem Daniel, chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution. He went on to say, given the delayed box office recovery, particularly for family films, flexibility remains at the core of our distribution decisions as we prioritize delivering the unparalleled content of the Walt Disney Company to audiences around the world, end quote.
Nice. So
I know that some people have talked about concerns of like, wow, that's another Pixar movie going straight to Disney Plus. And that's unfortunate. But at the same point, I love it. We have not been, outside of being on the Disney ship and being on the theater there, we still have not gone back to a theater yet. And some of these movies I would like to be able to see on Disney Plus.
Right. I mean, and, right now with COVID, and I know we're, getting into a peak with the newest variant, but, and the only reason we did the cruise one was because we saw all the safeguards that they put in place in terms of distancing, et cetera. And I know that that's not necessarily true in all theaters. So, yeah, we've been skittish about returning.
Just being careful.
Yeah. And so I can see, that being a decision of a family to, not be able to feel they are comfortable to go to the theater. And it's great that there's going to be some new content for them.
Yeah. And we got to see Luca, and I don't know if, at home, and I don't know if we would have necessarily made the trip to the theater to see Luca. Right. Maybe we would have, maybe we wouldn't have. I don't know. It would have been up in the air for us, especially, but with what's going on right now, we probably would have been less likely to go see Luca, but we're happy we got the chance to experience it at home on Disney Plus.
Right. And it's nice that, Disney Plus is continuing to add content, for that streaming service. So
for sure. So the story goes on to say, Turning Red introduces Mei Lee, voiced by Rosalie Chang, a confident, dorky 13-year-old torn between staying her mother's dutiful daughter and the chaos of adolescence. Her protective, if not slightly overbearing mother, Ming, voiced by Sandra Oh, is never far from her daughter, an unfortunate reality for the teenager. And as if changes to her interests, relationships, and body weren't enough, whenever she gets too excited, which is practically always, she poofs into a giant red panda, aka that's why you're turning red. So the trailer looks cute. It looks adorable. Looking forward to seeing that when it debuts on Disney Plus on March 11th.
Right. Yes.
So very cool. So that's it for the Disney stories of the week. However, we never leave you without giving you some sort of tip that might help you on your next vacation. And when we do this, we always start with Michelle. One, because she's wonderful, awesome, all things great in the world. She does the best research. She has the very best and most interesting lists, but she definitely has the very best tips. So let's get to it. Here is Michelle's tip of the week.
Well, thank you, honey. You're very kind. One of the things I noticed even this weekend, and it's so easy to happen, like if you're traveling with kids, especially little toddlers, and sometimes they can get away pretty quickly and without you noticing right away. And so my tip today really has to do with about safety and, having that thought before you actually go into a park for how to address something like that could happen. So, really two basic things that could really help in case that something like that were to occur where your child gets separated from you. So the first is really teaching your child how to identify a cast member, mainly just looking for the badge. They don't have to find a security person. A child can go up to any cast member and say that they're lost or separated from their family, and help will start immediately. The other thing is take a picture of your child before you go into the park, head to toe, what they're wearing, their shoes, etc., because that is what is a key to help anybody who's going to help search to know what your child is wearing. And having a picture really helps versus saying, well, it was a red shirt and I can't remember what color socks they had. Just having something very descriptive to show everybody who can help find your child. I mean, I'm hoping this never happens to people, but, even if it's just for a few brief moments, it can be a very scary situation, and being prepared can make it less likely to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we were just at Disneyland, and we saw the crowds. There was a fair crowd there at both parks, Disneyland and Disney California Adventure Park. Especially when you have multiple kids, maybe you're doing something with one, the other one scampers off, you turn around and you're like, where did little Johnny go? And it can happen. So it's good to try and, have a way. I mean, they're in Disneyland. They're going to be safe, but to make moments not be so,
Right.
fretting while you're there. So those are really, again, Michelle's tip. Always the best tip.
Well, thank you. Not trying to be a downer, just
No.
more
It's important stuff.
planning
That's
for
what
it.
tips are. They're important stuff that
thank
you need
you.
to know.
Okay, so what about your tip, sweetie?
My tip is all about Bruno. Nope. We don't talk about Bruno. No. Hope
Trying
that's
to
in
get
your
that
head now.
song in your-
No,
yeah,
it's in my
okay.
head for days now, and I can't get it out, but I love it. I can't
Oh
help
my
it.
gosh, too
I saw a
funny.
meme somewhere that was like, just gets Hamilton songs out of her head, and then it shows Mirabella kicking in a door, and it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, here you go. Here's
Oh my God.
here's
That's
Encanto
funny.
for you, this whole soundtrack, which is awesome. Anyway,
Yes.
my tip actually is about it's going back to Disney cruising, and something I was thinking about dropping in last week, but we were running a little long, so I kind of cut my tip very, very short last week. So my tip for this week is that we noticed we talked about it last week. We had this incredible balcony, which was just huge, phenomenal, wonderful. But one of the things we noted when our first days out there is that even those balconies have the little doors that the stewards can open up for you and connect your balcony to your neighbor's balcony if you like. So not only do you have connecting cabins on Disney cruises, you can also have connecting balconies. And we're talking about like we're going to get this friend on and this friend on. They're going to get this cabin and that cabin, and we're going to have a super balcony. So it's just one of those things that you can do on many
Right.
cruises that kind of, if you're going to be sailing with family or friends and you want to have a little more fun, maybe give yourself a little more
Right.
space to, have a good time with. And it doesn't have to be one of those giant balconies. There's a lot of balconies. Most of the balconies have some sort of connecting door
Right.
to them. And you just need to tell them ahead of time, look, we're sailing together. If it's possible, we would like to have that door open so
Right.
we can commute between the two balconies like a connecting room, and then we can have a good old get together out there. And if you even get on board, you can ask your steward about it, and a lot of times they will handle that for you
Right.
and open that up. So just another way to kind of enjoy cruising as a group.
Right. That is a great tip. And I bet a lot of people don't know that. So perfect, honey.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this week. However, next week is a big week for us.
Yeah.
It's always one of our favorite episodes of the year. It's our third annual Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We're going to find out what classic attractions, what songs, what characters, what films are going to make it into this year's class of our Hyperion Adventures Disney Hall of Fame.
Right. And, it wouldn't happen without everybody who has been participating all along from doing that. So thank you.
Yeah, these are chosen by you. And you got to have a high percentage of votes for these characters to make it in. We have categories last year where we didn't have anybody make it in.
Right.
So hopefully we'll have it in full categories this year, but it's a Hall of Fame. This is a very big deal.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to put anybody in.
We hope everybody dresses up.
Yes. We will be, as far as you know, I will be in a tux,
Right.
and Michelle will be in a gown, or maybe I'll also be in a gown. You never know. But as far as you know, I figure you just think I'm in a gown anyway whenever I'm doing the
You're
show.
funny.
So maybe we're a little tired. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun next week, either way.
Yeah. And we do hope you participate in the final ballots and make it our whole Hyperion family.
Yeah,
fun.
I'm gonna put the link in the show notes, so you'll find where to go for it through there. You can find it on social media. I've already posted it a couple times. You can find it there again. You'll find it on the website. There's all sorts of ways to find this final ballot. And again, one lucky person is going to get that Disney Vacation Club hat, that Mickey Mouse fanny pack, and some of our great Hyperion Adventures. Well, look at this, we're bragging. Look at our great Hyperion Adventures swag that we give out. Some Hyperion Adventures swag that we have.
Exactly.
So.
Where's the hook?
Yes, please get us the hook. We appreciate that you joined us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there,
Please do sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already.
yes, just another way to be involved in the Hyperion Adventures podcast world. Another great way is on social media. We're on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, come on over and join us in our Hyperion Adventurers Facebook group for some great positive Disney energy fun.
Right. And please share some of your stories too.
Yeah, pictures, stories, whatever.
Right.
We just want to have a lot of fun on that Facebook group. We're also on YouTube. You can find any of our videos there by just doing a quick search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Hit subscribe and you'll know whenever we have something come out. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
Right. We love hearing from you.
Yes.
And we'd also like to ask that you please tell a friend or a family member about our podcast.
Yes, that's just the easiest way to get the knowledge out there that this show is something that you like, that your friends or family or whatever it may be, passerbys on the street, may like as well. Hey, have you heard? Have you heard? Here's this great podcast. Have you heard? All right, I got to go. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you again next week. Until that time, I'm Tom.
I'm Michelle.
And we hope that you have a magical week.
Bye.
Have you heard? Have you heard?